Welcome back to Podcast Recovery, everyone. We're your hosts, David O.
And Eric V.
And today we are doing our part 3 of Am I an Addict?
Trace.
Numero trois. With our friend Brad.
Again.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Brad.
Again.
Hola.
Hola. We got French and Spanish and shitty English. Yeah, so we're doing Am I an Addict again out of the Narcotics Anonymous IP number 7 pamphlet, which, if you're thinking about it, you know, there's 29 questions in here and some
Did you
good
bring
little
me my new
blurbs.
key tag as I think about this?
No, I did not.
Oh, man.
I'll get it for I'll get it for you Thursday.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Can I have a
for you
pin?
Thursday. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got a pin. Take a pin. and a
I didn't
sticker.
realize there was a new key tag, so I was like, I need that. I saw it.
I got
What,
a
the black?
sticker. And
No,
a pin.
the one with the QR code.
Oh, the QR code. Yeah, I can get you that one.
Yeah.
I'll get you the metal one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have good metal ones in my home group.
I don't want any of that crap.
And there's a new book I need to buy too. I didn't realize there was
I think
a
there's
book.
2 new books.
Really?
Yeah, there's the Guiding Principles book.
I have that. Right.
Okay, you have that, and then
Right.
there's the what is it, like a?
It's a new daily reflection book.
It's a new
right?
daily
Yeah.
reflection
Yeah.
book. Yeah. But yeah, so we're discussing all these, we're answering all these questions ourselves, and you know, as you're listening, answer them yourself while you're listening to us.
Answer them with us.
Fun little episode, and I don't know, put your answers in our social media. We'd love to hear from you, and
We would love to.
we'll answer your questions as well. So we've gone 1 through 20. We are now at 21. Have you ever felt defensive, guilty, or ashamed about your using? I'm gonna go with Brad first. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
guilty, defensive, or ashamed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that started very early on too.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, just when I started smoking weed initially, like it was so quick before I was like stealing from family members, whatever, just to throw
Get
in
$10.
on
Get $5.
not even $10.
Yeah, $5. Yeah.
$3-4 to throw in on the blunt, with the homies.
You guys did that? Were you guys like...
You got fives on it?
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do that here. Nah, it's all peace and love, baby, in Gainesville. You're
Rich.
like,
Yeah,
fuck
well,
y'all.
you know, life is great in 212-228.
228,
Yeah, man,
exactly.
there you go.
Yeah, we don't make people throw in.
We choose civility in Howard
know?
County. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
It's crazy. I mean, like, because I heard that in other parts of Baltimore County where it'd be like, yeah, you got to throw in $5. I'm like, what do you mean you got to fucking throw in $5?
yeah,
This
dude.
is a blunt.
No.
Like, it's communal. Like,
ass cash or grass. Nobody rides for free, man.
yeah, not here. Not here.
Fuck that,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean,
Free love over here, guys.
I mean, they let me in a lot of times for free, but when you're a freeloader for so long, you got that. There's always that guy.
Then
that
you
just-
start.
you're
Then
like,
you stop
come
getting
on.
hit up.
There are those people where it's like,
Vultures.
all right, we're not inviting that person
Yeah, fucking
anymore 'cause he
vultures.
doesn't ever actually bring anything
I
to the table.
became that guy.
Until you started selling, and then
Yeah.
you flip the script.
That was the only. Yeah, exactly. I had to
way.
do that to support my habit. Is
Yeah.
what happened. And I mean, and then there's like early on, so my one buddy who was selling before me, right? He kept his he would save his dollar bills and rolls in his drawer. So I knew where the key was to the house. You know what I mean? Every day that's where we'd meet up after school or whatever to go, and we'd all be paying said person, Kevin, to, smoke his weed. So I would skip school or be at home. I'd go ride my bike over to their house, take the key, go into his house, steal a couple singles. This is how desperate I was to smoke weed at like 13 years old.
You'd steal
And
singles
I
from
would
him and give
steal
them back?
singles because like he would keep them in $100 rolls. So it's like if I take too many, he'll know. And he did catch on eventually. I think he might have brought it up to me, and I was like, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about." But I would literally go there, steal $3, $4, $5, $6, and then come over, wait for them to get home from school. Come over there a couple hours later, give him the $3, $4, $5 back to smoke the weed with him. Like that was me early on.
Hey, at least he got the money back. You know, shit.
Yeah.
Unmanageability.
How much can he complain, really?
Yeah, at 13, 14 years old, just for weed, that's where I was at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got something.
Yeah.
Something in my brain was off at a
Yeah.
young age for me.
Defensive. I don't know if I ever got. I'm gonna break down every word. Defensive. I don't know if I ever really got defensive because
I got defensive.
I don't know. I guess my defensiveness maybe came through in like justification.
I was like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Especially like as when it was just weed and alcohol. especially like weed, I was like, it's not me that's wrong. The fucking laws are fucking wrong.
Man, it's the man.
Yeah, it's the fucking man that's fucking wrong. I'm not the
I
problem.
mean, Camilla
here.
Harris is saying we need action right fucking now.
Yeah, but I guess that was my level of defensive and guilt. In the back of my head, I definitely had guilt because, like, I knew I was...
What did you have guilt towards? Because I'm very curious about that.
Towards myself.
Towards certain drugs, too? Like certain using?
Oh, no, so I'm talking about early in the game.
Okay.
So, early in the game, guilt because, like, I would skip school and I'm like, man, I know I'm smarter than this. Like, I know I'm better than... Like, I would feel guilty to myself. Not to, like, my parents. I didn't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
But I felt guilty to myself, like I was letting myself down. And then that goes into the shame.
Yeah.
The shame was always a thing because I like, especially not so much early, but later once I'm huffing dust off and doing codeine and fucking doing opiates and cocaine and shit. Like I had to pile more drugs on to shut up the shame. Because again, like I've talked about
You
how
did shit in golf holes. Yeah, I get it.
you know what? There's going to come a day soon where we're closing that chapter. We're leaving it in the past.
Maybe.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
But we're gonna close that chapter. We're gonna have one last discussion about it, and then it's gonna be done. Because I don't like that's robbing my old house, man. I don't live there anymore. I don't live there anymore, man.
I don't do that anymore.
But yeah, shame. Like I was like, fuck, I'm fucking. Oh God, I remember
I did have shame.
The month I was huffing Duster, I felt like the worst piece of shit on the face of the planet. And
did you see the episode of fucking like
Steve-O?
No, not Steve-O. Did you see Intervention episode with Allison?
No.
Oh, I guess I hit that episode before I ever
was she
tried
doing
dust
just
off.
nothing but dust off?
Nothing but dust off.
That's
so like
crazy.
I was like,
You guys watched
never
that
doing
show
that.
while you were using.
Oh,
right?
all the time, dude. All the time.
yeah.
I was like, I'm not as bad as them. They're
I'm
doing,
not as good.
they're doing
as
black tar heroin. They can barely talk.
Yeah,
man. I'm
fuck
doing
that
like
guy.
fucking scramble. I'm fine.
Yeah, that guy's losing his fucking teeth. He's out of his fucking mind.
Like,
Fuck
look at him.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Like I'm doing great. I have a job. I go to school. Fuck them.
Yeah, I have
You
a
know?
Pontiac vibe. I'm fine.
I'm vibing in my Pontiac vibe.
I'm vibing in my Pontiac. I'm good. But no, shame. Yeah, because also I felt like, and especially after I got nieces, and because
felt bad about
family is huge for me,
It's important to you.
and
I threw my family away.
yeah, and I threw my fucking family away, and I was entirely ashamed by that. And, and then it got to a point where my sister wouldn't let me around my nieces, and then I was like really ashamed of myself, and because it's just a cycle at that point.
Yeah.
Like, what about you? Defensive, guilty, and ashamed?
I mean, I would defend my drug use for sure.
Of course.
I was ashamed of certain things. I wasn't ashamed of like drugs per se, though, right? Like, I'd be ashamed of certain actions, but like, I never felt bad or like
Dust off, I felt bad about.
I felt bad about crack. I felt dirty using crack. I guess that's like if there's one that felt bad, it was crack. Heroin always had this like weird appeal of like
Artistry.
I don't know.
I'm making a jazz album.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, like, think about all the greats. You know, Jimmy Page, Miles Davis, like, you know, everybody.
Eric Clapton did heroin.
Everybody's
Look at
done
him.
heroin. Like, there's a whole, like, routine and ritual to it. But crack has just felt dirty and shameful.
Oh,
and,
that was the worst.
yeah, that was gross. I guess there's shameful acts that I did because of using, where I'm just like, man, did I sleep with you? Oh, fuck. Like that sort of stuff, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, defensiveness, guilt, and shame.
Guilt and shame's pretty easy.
Guilt and shame's easy. Defensive, I think we all...
I didn't feel guilty about using drugs, though, for the most part. And I don't feel shame for it either. I don't, like, still don't feel
Not
shame.
anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still, like, a level of regret. Like...
I don't have that anymore, I guess.
So I actually like talked about this in my home group on Thursday
Because we wouldn't be where we are now without you.
Exactly.
You know?
But so like I really equated because it was talking about like accepting and like letting go of rejection, and I really think it's like a process a lot like grieving, and I equated it to that. Like people like I've lost, like say I think about Tyler or Victoria or anybody, like there's days when I can be positive about it and be like, you know, at least they were in my life, we had some good times, blah blah blah, this and that, and that's fine. And then other days I think about it and you know I'll fucking cry So and so it I feel like it's the same with like my 14 years of my life that I pissed away. Like some days I'm like, I'm here because of that. Like I am who I am today because of that, and that's okay. And I have a level of acceptance. And it really depends on my own emotional and psychological condition at the time when I think about it.
That's Victoria B, right?
What?
Or which Victoria was that?
Yeah, Victoria B. Yep.
Sadly, that doesn't surprise me. Like that she
I know
passed. I guess I saw that. I see certain people like
and it's
where it's like it's like Matt was always someone where I'm like I'm still.
Oh God!
I'm like I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I know. I fucking hope and pray.
Love you, Matt.
Hope and pray. I hope you're listening, buddy, out in Cleveland. Hope you're doing good. Love you. All things are good. But yeah, it's a grieving process, and it depends on the day and like where I'm at personally when I think about that time. Because there's times when I think about it, and if I'm in a shitty mood, I'll be like, fucking pissed. Fucking 14 years of my life away. I could have done good in school and gone to college.
You can still go to college, David, and I'm gonna keep telling you that.
I know.
Like you can do it.
It's it's on the docket.
You could finish before you're 40, dude.
We'll get there. Do you think a lot about drugs?
Yeah,
Not
every
anymore.
day.
Really? Still?
No.
No,
not anymore. No.
Okay, so full disclosure, the one I still think about and still wrestle with occasionally mentally is hallucinogens. Still.
I don't think about hard drugs.
No.
Ever.
No.
Fentanyl has actually successfully
scared the fucking shit out of you.
Scared you straight. There you go. That is a street drug. Mm-hmm. Like I would never. Like I would have to test it twice. Like I'm too like. And afraid.
Still, even that, like
you don't know. Maybe crazy. I tested the wrong part of the powder, and like
you never fucking know. Yep, fuck it.
I mean, hallucinogens. Like we've talked about this, so this isn't new. I'm open to like hallucinogens. So like that. I don't think about, but it's also a huge time commitment. It's a huge
exactly, and
exercise.
I'm just like, I don't know if I want to go through.
There's a whole
that.
Spirituality aspect to it that you want to do.
Get them and like,
I'm terrible at using hallucinogens. Ugh.
You'd get them from DC, but that's besides the point.
I think I saw you on shrooms once. And you did not look like you were having a good time.
No, it was like weed. It just gave me anxiety.
Yeah,
but I'm also seeing things.
So that's weird too.
Like, I don't think your brain was in the right spot
never,
at all to be doing that shit.
I was too depressed and hated myself so much. So I just went into it so bad.
So you're just bad trip after bad trip.
I mean, there was a couple. I had a few good times.
Exactly, and I had some bad trips as well. What was
the question again?
Yeah, it's like, do you think about drugs every day?
No,
I don't. No. But I still think like
alcohol and weed are obviously the two things that pop up.
Well, weed for me is different than you guys. So
yeah, well,
I mean,
you're treating nerve pain. It's
I'm treating
pain.
more than that. I'm treating like pain, like actual pain.
Yeah,
because the nerve pain is being treated by gabapentin and pregabalin, and like I'm now taking some supplement that's supposed to
you have serious medical issues.
I have no use for it.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
The crazy thing,
unless I want to spike my anxiety, like
no. Here's the thing though, my anxiety. I have really bad general anxiety, and I have really bad social anxiety, and like the craziest thing is I was terrified to drive like on the highways before I got prescribed, and like because I got into a really bad couple accidents last time I was using, and like the craziest thing is like now I don't have that anxiety anymore, like and I don't have like the anxiety around people as much either, and it's like I don't know, that's kind of cool. It's kind of nice, to not feel like I'm having like a heart attack.
And I've said it a dozen times, alcohol has no weight on me anymore. I'll never go back to alcohol.
Lucky you.
I will never go back.
That one's that's a struggle for me.
Alcohol has a place like that is kind of like, and we've talked about this. It's hard, like with work where I live and work.
Also,
then also like events, like
and for
weddings. And
for
stuff
the
hard.
listener, it depends on where you live, because if you're European, listen to this, it's a totally different culture of drinking.
Drinking's totally different.
Drinking is totally different.
Look at how Disney World worked in France without alcohol. It didn't work.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh shit,
that.
there needs to be wine here. Like
there has to be alcohol.
There's part of their culture. Yeah, beer in Germany. It just is what it is. But I mean, those are like we're digressing severely into like many different cultural aspects to it. But yeah, here in America, like my alcohol consumption or my weed consumption would be very American. Like I would, because it was not like, oh, let me just have a nice port with my whatever with my steak.
You were drinking to get drunk.
Not even that. It was, let me get fucked up. I want. How many times did we say that before a night, Brad? We're getting fucked up tonight.
Oh yeah,
that was the goal to get fucked up. And so if me going back to weed, it's not an attractor for me because I know I would just smoke it.
Well, you're just doing it for that. Like where
I
I'm
would just
doing
fry
it,
myself. It's entirely different.
I'm doing it because of like
it's medical.
pain and like anxiety.
It is a medical fucking
like,
reason.
I have like actual reasons.
Yes,
to, like,
there's a
and it doesn't give me anxiety. Like
yes.
people who are like, oh, I get paranoid. I'm like, really? I feel like normal. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what to tell you.
And maybe that's it, Brad. Maybe because you're such a social person, it's kind of like. It's
the opposite, right?
It's like,
where I'm like not
Ritalin.
a social person.
You're not a social person, exactly. So yeah, it's like people who are like don't need Ritalin, they get zooted. But people who need Ritalin, it's just like, oh, I'm fine. I
can focus.
Yeah, I'm fine now.
I can perform a task.
Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. Number 23. Have you had irrational or indefinable fears? Huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably the irrational fears is when you're like, am I still breathing?
Okay.
Wait, am I in the mirror?
That's pretty rational, dude.
Yeah.
That's fairly rational.
Is that me in the mirror or is that not?
That's rational and definable. Like, I just did fucking 300 milligrams of fucking OxyContin. Fears. Am I going to die? Like, that's very rational to think about.
I don't know. I bet.
I don't know.
Probably with people and like with thoughts, there's probably irrational thoughts that are happening because of using. Yeah. And like you're thinking about something that like doesn't fucking matter, but you put so much emphasis into it that like it does matter, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Irrational and indefinable fears.
What? I don't know, dude. I don't know about that one.
That's an interesting question.
They got deep. They got really deep with that one.
Yeah. Irrational fears.
Oh, cool!
I guess that goes back to one of the other questions of like trying to live without drugs. I had an irrational and indefinable fear of living without drugs because I didn't want to do it. So I guess that's irrational thinking. Like, oh, I'm like this is just who I am, and I'm going to do drugs to, to be who I am till the day I die. It's like, oh, this is just who I am. I'm a drug addict. And that goes back to the first surrender, which is surrendering to the drugs.
To addiction.
Yep.
I love that one.
I guess I had the irrational fear that the police were gonna come knocking.
Well, there's that.
There's cocaine psychosis. Yeah. Yes, for sure. Like,
that wasn't too far from the truth at points in time, but not really. I wasn't any kingpin. Like they didn't want to come. They weren't going to come knocking on my door.
But I was cutting flaps in my cardboard so I could look out of my fucking barroom fucking apartment.
You guys.
I don't know. Howard County was different.
They're like pigs in shit with like just a gram, dude. Like I mean, when I got arrested in Howard County, the amount of cops that showed up.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I'm this small.
When I burned
a
book in Howard County, the SWAT team showed up.
You burned a book?
Yeah.
Yeah, in his basement. Yeah. That's how he got to Shepherd Pratt.
What book?
We could have a whole episode just on that.
You burned a phone book?
Yeah.
I wish it was a Bible or something.
Such a sad story.
I love Brad stories, but
I'm so terrible at telling stories at the same time.
That's so nonsense. You tell great stories.
So I've gotten better.
Yeah. I mean,
it's this. You got to sell it.
Yeah,
it's the hard part.
What's great is like you have blurbs to be like, oh, tell the Captain Morgan story. Like so, I know
you have a Captain Morgan story. I have a Captain Morgan.
Yeah, you hit somebody in the face with the Captain Morgan bottle.
Oh, see, we played this game called Madden Shots, which was a terrible game, and we drank a bottle of Captain Morgan.
What the fuck is Madden Shots?
Every time you score a touchdown, you take a shot of Captain Morgan, and then you have to take shots. Like,
dude, you're fucking. The bottle's gone before halftime.
Oh, we were 16. We drank the entire bottle.
Yeah, the bottle's gone before halftime. Dude.
Then I walked to 7-Eleven to buy cigarettes, And then it was bad. It was like I had alcohol poisoning. I like claimed a medium. Like I was like, this is my medium. I claimed it and I passed out. And my friend had to like drag me. It was a crazy night.
What the fuck? That's funny. All right. Has using affected your sexual relationships?
Made it
Oof.
great.
Yeah. I mean, affected.
It's made me not
affected
calm
is good and bad.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, trying to have an orgasm on cocaine. So,
People are like,
fucking
sometimes
nightmare.
it's like, dude, I can't get off. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it was fun.
Oh,
it's nothing against you, man.
Dude, and if you were,
it's fun.
If you got too drunk, your dick's not working. You're
The only I've
too
had that
drunk, way too drunk.
So I had that happen a few times with benzos and alcohol, and like, and there's this one chick, and I was just like, my dick is not hitting hard. Like, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not happening. You know?
Yep. Did it affect your sexual relationships? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Fuck yes.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Just yes to that. That could digress.
It's a hard yes, or maybe a soft yes, I guess.
I'll go a little deeper for you guys because I definitely.
Please do, Daddy.
Get deeper?
Not even
Go
that
deeper, Daddy.
You guys. Wait till later. Anyway, no, I mean, I was like, I don't know. I basically ruled myself out of the game.
Wait, isn't
did.
Kim your first girlfriend?
Yeah, pretty much, yes. So like I've had.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Was she your first?
No.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
But I can't.
He ate some black jelly beans back in his
my
day.
relations were very, very
I'm thinking
minimal.
What?
And
what? What does that mean?
Relations? What?
No,
he said you ate black jelly beans.
I don't know what the hell he means by that either. I was just gonna let that one go.
Did he suck like?
No, so nobody likes black jelly beans, right? That's the kind of that. It's a common theme that black jelly beans is something that nobody wants.
Yeah.
And so there would be a thing where
I have some shiny jelly beans. That's
debatable.
Did you get the fat girls? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and so there would be a time when, because
whoa.
you gotta like you can't just go after. You've seen A Beautiful Mind. You can't just go after the beautiful blonde because then her four friends that are with her will fucking cockblock you.
Yeah.
So somebody has to go for somebody so everybody wins.
Yep.
And there's always a black jelly bean. I'm sorry. I'm sure I was a black jelly bean for many women. And so, there were nights when it'd be like, all right, who's eating the black jelly bean tonight?
Who's
it's
doing
like,
that
fuck.
one? Yeah, that happens. I mean, you took a bullet there for somebody. So, I mean, really, he's doing a good thing for his friends.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You got to be good. I mean, dude, I took charges for people. I was a fucking...
You're an idiot.
I jumped on grenades all the
You're
time,
an
man.
idiot, dude. Like,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I
I'm
got
so
conned
sorry.
into this one chick, but
Did you ever feel like you got taken advantage of, Brad? Because I felt like one time I did get.
That's
taken
exactly what he was about to
advantage
get
of,
into.
too. Yeah.
yeah, I definitely got conned into a truth or dare thing with like
I even
a
said
married couple
I missed
and
Truth or Dare.
their
Wait, what?
what?
What'd you say? Did you have a threesome with a married couple?
No. It was a married couple, and then I think it was like her sister or maybe sister-in-law, and it was like, let's play truth or dare. And basically, it was two
What?
sisters.
I would love that.
Basically, it was like they were trying to
Were you
get
in
me.
West Virginia? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're
love
playing with
Truth or
you're
Dare.
playing truth or dare with the family?
This
I would
was
love
Howard
that.
County, but these
No.
people were
Yeah.
from Dundalk, so I don't know if that has anything to do
hey.
with it. But like, but yeah, at the end of the day, they were like, let's give Brad as much Patron as possible, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and drink Patron, and I'll kiss some fat chick, which then turned into like,
Fucking the
almost
fat
like forcibly, like it felt like I was forced into it, and they were like, take my bedroom, and I'm like, no, I don't want to go in the bedroom. I don't want to do this. And
That
then,
happened to me.
And then I did this, and then whatever. But it,
You don't feel good after this.
no.
I mean, drugs made me hook up with Shayla.
Ugh. Okay.
Shayla was kind of like hot though.
Oh, it was...
I'm really sorry to the listeners here. This is
I mean, we're three dudes talking about this, so we are apologizing for our shittiness.
yeah. All I was trying to say was like,
Yeah, and we're all culpable in these scenarios. as
Oh,
well.
we've all been here. Like,
I was so
even,
ashamed of
you know,
myself that I was like keeping myself out of the game to like, I was just like,
Yeah,
I felt
you had
so
incredibly low self-esteem.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I felt that's all I'm trying to say is I felt so low of myself that I didn't even like until I got messed up. Then I was like trying to hit on chicks. But before any of that, like I'm just like
you were like nobody wants
nobody
me.
wants me.
I was a serial
greasy-
monogamous. So.
Yeah, I was a greasy.
You were a serial
turd.
monogamist.
I had a girlfriend for 5 years.
I was a man whore.
Yeah.
I was a man whore.
I had a girlfriend for 5 years when I was before I came to the rooms, and then I got with Tess like immediately.
No, by the end, like, so I had a relationship up until like 20, so I had like a 5-year relationship, and then from 20 to 25, I was just like, well, I'm out of that relationship now. Let me run through everything I can, and I did. And
all right, no one wants to hear about this anymore.
yeah, this is terrible. So did it affect our sexual relationship?
Like I just set a train and went through that
all
shit.
our relationships.
Move on.
Move on. Have you ever taken drugs you didn't prefer?
Yep.
I did. How many times have you smoked salvia?
Weed.
Twice. Weed, yeah. I peer pressured Brad into smoking weed numerous times.
So one time I actually...
I was going to do it regardless.
Why you would let me peer pressure you is ridiculous.
I remember the first time I said no to salvia. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to watch. I felt so proud of myself.
I smoked it twice.
Because like everybody just was so stupid,
It's so
you
terrible.
know? Like I was like, you know what?
It's a terrible fucking
Salvia
drug.
is probably the closest it feels like
Ketamine
you know,
was
imagine
awful.
feeling like you.
Oh,
you know.
ketamine was disgusting.
I
hated ketamine.
I was talking to somebody about ketamine the other day because the depression, like how it's like being used for depression came up. And I was like, you know, every time I took ketamine, I just felt normal. So I was like, that's probably bad.
That's probably bad.
Helps me.
It's probably bad. Dust off, terrible.
Dust off is bad, dude. You could have died.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I never did, I think I did whippets once, and I was like, I fucking hate that.
So I felt bad.
I hate whippets.
I did so much nitrous.
Ugh,
I went to the porn store a lot.
I was just not a
lot.
It is, you know, huffers are, you know, you're special addicts. You're the addicts, special little snowflakes. I don't understand.
They're crazy, dude. Like
I don't understand you, but you
ether.
know,
Some ether, dude.
Yeah. I had a jar of ether that I had a rag, and I would have some ether. What the fuck, John? What the fuck are you saying?
Like, dude, I thought you just like maybe smoked weed once. Like you
Dude,
did fucking
we
ether.
thought he didn't do drugs at all.
Yeah, he was just
for
there
like
to
the
hang
first
out.
like year and a half. Like we were like, this guy's
Well,
weird
there
as
are
shit.
people-
Have you had John on the show?
No,
We should have him on the
we
show.
should. It'd be just, oh my god.
There are some people who come to the rooms though that just, you know, they don't have. It's hard to make, and you know, the rooms it's a good third place, man.
There is chemical dependence anonymous.
Well, I'm
as
saying
well.
like the rooms are a good place. Like it's a good third place. Like
Yeah.
there aren't any third places. Like you know,
yeah,
like
and
it's hard.
there's people out there who like their thing was huffing gasoline. If that's your thing, we'll have you on the podcast. I'd love to hear about it. It's not my thing, like, but it's a weird addiction, but it's real and it's out there. There's people huffing spray paint and fucking.
Oh, the huffing, inhaling.
Huffing
crazy,
dude. Rob would fucking inhale. Dude, he would huff.
He
would huff butane, dude.
There's a Oh, that's really bad. There's a hallucinogen for huffing called like xenon. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
No, it's like.
No.
Like it's in, like I think it's.
I feel
a part
so
of the
old
atmosphere.
now because like the younger generation right now, a lot of these young kids are coming in with benzo stories, like strict benzo stories.
You haven't done all the research that I did on the benzo. The benzos are fucking crazy.
It's insane. It like we had Xanax,
What am I thinking
and that was
of?
about it. Like we were the opiate generation, and before us it was the crack generation, and before that it was the cocaine generation. Before that it was the
xenon is a rare element gas.
I know. I knew xenon was on the periodic table.
It is on the periodic table, but it's also short-lived. Like it's like DMT essentially.
Ugh,
which is crazy.
Where do you even find? I don't care. That's fucking.
You know,
horrible.
I do research.
I know
all this stuff.
Yeah. Did we ever take drugs that we didn't prefer? Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Because it wasn't about, and that's the thing. Anybody listening, it's not about the fucking drugs. It's about you and like, wait, what have you got? Oh, hey, Brad, I don't have oxys, but I have Opanos. You want them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never did Opanos. I heard they were crazy.
Like it was whatever. Like, hey, we don't have this, but you know we're all huffing dust off at this party. Fuck it, I'll try it.
Well, it's also just at the beginning. It's like, oh, we don't have weed, but we have alcohol. Oh, we don't have alcohol, but we have weed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, how many times do you have that? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like my whole like junior and senior year were just switched.
I still have to apologize to my friend Sean for giving him a fucking Coke blunt. Damn, I almost gave him a heart attack.
Well, I remember smoking some a few like chronic like bowls or bongs, and people just being like, And I'm just like, calm the fuck down.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't know.
I know, but then they get all
dosed him and he
panicked
didn't know.
and like, it's like,
He was
you're
like, what
fine.
the fuck? Like, he's sweating and he's turning red. And he was like,
That's
what
called-
the fuck? What kind of fucking weed is this? I was like, oh, I rolled that before you got here. There's cocaine on that blunt. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my bad, dude.
He'll be fine.
He was fine. He turned out okay.
He'll be fine.
He lived. Number 26. Have you ever used drugs because of emotional pain or stress? That is all.
That's why I started
why
using
did
drugs.
I,
What do
that's
you
all
mean?
I did.
That's
drugs
the reason
over.
I did it.
Yeah. Emotional pain or stress? Yes. Yes. Like, and that's the basis of so many people's addiction stories is fucking trauma. Emotional fucking trauma, psychological trauma, just life stress. How many people start doing fucking Adderall in college because they're fucking wigged the fuck out about due dates and shit?
It's pretty easy to answer.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very easy to answer.
Next.
Yeah. Next. Yeah. Like emotional pain and stress using. Yeah. And let's take it a step further. Like, you ever go to the fucking casino because you're feeling some sort of fucking way?
I don't.
Brad.
But
Yeah, absolutely.
Brad
has.
does.
Yeah.
I did actually gamble a little bit
Brad
just to
has some
feel a
FOMO.
certain
He's
way.
going to the casino.
I like
man.
sports betting more than casino.
And then still, it's still a danger.
Oh, it is.
Still a
It
danger
is.
for
It's
sure.
fun. It's
What
fun,
did we
though.
what did we do last night? We went out to eat. We
Yep.
didn't have to. We
Yeah.
didn't have to go out to eat
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock at night, but
Yeah,
At 11?
I ate corned beef hash at 11:30 last night because I was stressed out about some nonsense going on in my life. Mm-hmm. So food
Food is
yes,
a thing, yeah.
Emotional and stress eating.
I've gained weight,
fucking
for sure.
Have you ever overdosed on any drugs? I got an alcohol poisoning.
I'm a yes. A hard yes on that one.
Yes, you're a hard yes. I'm a soft yes because alcohol poisoning is an overdose.
Well, I mean, I've had multiple alcohol so I took this one. Oh God, there's one time. It was right before a final exam. I should have went to the hospital. I don't know why I didn't. But it was right before a final exam in summer. So like it was for this music industry class or like the business of music. I'd taken a bunch of Adderall and a bunch of Xanax, and then I drank like a fifth.
Oof.
And like I remember I think I threw up between like 30 and 40 times, and I had bursted like a bunch of blood vessels in my face.
Oh my God.
But I made it to class and I passed. So
God damn.
my girlfriend at the time told me to go fuck myself because I left her in my apartment that night before to go party. So, but she didn't want to party, so fuck her.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
No, I had a bunch of those, dude. Like, I went to the hospital a few times. Like, yeah. I mean, I think I did like alcohol, coke, dope, definitely like some pills a few times. Like, I remember one time I got into a car and just had a seizure, like before like opening the door, and just like, like Brad didn't see that, but my body was just like,
just fishing out. Like, did you ever OD, Brad?
no.
No. You got alcohol poisoning though, right?
No. I mean,
my Madden shots
nothing
was
that's
alcohol.
put me in the hospital. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I've nursed myself out of
Yes, those are the
situations,
alcohol
but-
poisonings I had where, I'm throwing up for hours on hours and like I'm fucking green and people are like taking care of me and
hurts.
nursing me. Oh, it hurts,
So bad.
So bad. Yeah.
It's not like throwing up on opiates. It's
No,
son of a
and
bitch.
then the next day your body just feels like you just been punched by gorillas all night. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Overdoses.
Gross.
Bad stuff. To 28. Do you continue to use despite negative consequences?
That's
Yep.
called step 2, motherfucker.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I started getting arrested at age 14, didn't stop getting arrested till age 25. And used the whole fucking time.
I think like
I still smoke them cigarettes.
I think the biggest
there you
problem also is putting all of that above everything else too, right? Like,
Yeah, I didn't care that I
that's
was
the
getting
issue,
arrested.
right? Like, it's not like
I didn't care that I was
Yeah.
losing friendships and relationships. Yep.
you're just putting that over everything else. Like,
Yeah. Hey, I can't see my nieces. I'll do drugs about it. Yep. My sister doesn't want to talk to me anymore. I'll do drugs about it. Yep. And yeah, nothing fucking, no negative consequences were ever big enough or great enough to make me stop. So am I an addict? Fuck yeah. 29. The final question. Do you think you might have a drug problem?
Nah. We're all good here.
What about you, Brad? Think you have a drug problem?
Can we answer, like, so it's not anymore, right? Like, like the problem isn't as big as it was, right? Like, but
my entire perception changed once I got into recovery, because the reality was I didn't have a drug problem. I had a fucking David problem. And drugs and alcohol and women and sex and food and gambling and robbing people with a broken gun were all symptoms of that. Was just me trying to fucking act out on me being fucked up emotionally and psychologically as an individual. So I had a fucking David problem.
Yeah. Until you face the core.
Yeah. And then you got to get to that fucking
But some people
issue.
do just use to use, dude. Like, some people don't have core problems. Like, there are...
Who the fuck are they?
They exist in the rooms, for sure.
I guess.
Like, the people who just want to fit in. Like, and like, you can say that's your
Donnie.
core fucking problem,
Donnie's,
right?
compared to, and we're not comparing out, but like Donnie, who any of our regular listeners, like,
No, but I thought about that, because, like, people are, there is, like
his dad wasn't beating the shit out of him like my dad. No. Like, he had insecurities and inadequacies. What, pamphlet?
Oh yeah, I just want to read the question again.
Do your parents not remember hitting you?
Oh, my dad did.
Well, I know, but do your parents, like, say, like, oh, we didn't do that?
Oh no, my dad did.
Oh, he's like,
So the last time I talked to him at age 21, we had, like, because he had just, like, my mom had taken him back for the umpteenth fucking time, and I was briefly living back at home because of that, because I was out using and, like, living on my own and in my Pontiac vibe and shit like that, and then my dad moved away, and my mom was like, I need you back in my life, blah blah blah. So I come back for like 6 months, and then she disappears one day.
Yeah, you told me this.
Yeah, and I'm like, where the fuck is mom? And, like, nobody wanted to tell me. She was like, oh, she's going to bring back your dad. And I was like, what the fuck? So we had, like, one final, like, drag it out, like, I guess intervention for, like, my mom about, like, this dude is a piece of shit. He has stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from our family. He beat the shit out of us when we were fucking kids. Like, get the fuck rid. Like, why are you still with this fucking monster? And, like, I remember, like, literally looking at him. I was like, why did you hit us as fucking, like, why did you beat the shit out of us? And, like, it was like the most psychopathic answer I've ever heard in my entire life. He was literally just silent, and he was just like, he looked right back at me. He was like, because I could. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I literally, like, my sister Julia had to, like, tackle me and drag me out of the fucking house because I was going to kill him. I was going to fucking kill him.
Your dad shouldn't have had kids, man.
No, absolutely not. He's a fucking monster of a fucking human being. He's terrible. And people were like, oh, why'd you do drugs? Maybe that's why?
Is he dead?
No.
No?
He fucking lives in Elkridge.
Really?
Yeah. He lives, like, 3 miles from me. Yeah. I found that out a few years ago.
Fuck your dad.
Yeah, total piece of shit. And, like, so people were like, oh, any non-addicts are like, oh, you just have a fucking problem. Yeah, I had a piece of shit dad, like, who crippled me as a fucking human being for a long time. And yeah, they talk about stress and emotional fucking using. Yes, when you're 12 years old and you're like, that's your life. Like, yeah, you're going to go start drinking and fucking smoking weed to just feel something good.
Yeah.
And, like, that's where, like, it fucking comes from. And then, yeah, I didn't know how to deal with any sort of emotional stress or anything because I basically didn't have parents. And then I did that from age 11 to fucking 25. And it fucking cost me fucking years. Like, that shit's fucked up. Like, am I an addict because I'm a piece of shit human being? No, I'm an addict because life happened and nobody taught me how to fucking deal with it.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's the fucking reality. Damn, this got heavy.
Got heavy.
Really fast.
Got really into David.
Really into me.
My question is, why does someone like your dad get to that point? Is he just a shit person like that? Or what is he suffering from?
Well, Oh, I mean, I'm sure his dad beat the crap out of him too.
So he's just never addressed any issues.
He never addressed any of his issues, and instead of like, I mean, he never really became an addict, but he was also a fucking vagrant in New York selling horseshit tea for fucking 7 years to people.
Selling what?
Did I never tell you this story?
Like, wait, real horse shit?
Yes.
Like tea?
So yeah,
Like a weird wellness scheme or something?
Yes.
Okay.
He was snake oiling people in fucking Manhattan. He lived with actually a very famous bum in New York, this guy named Adam Purple, who's actually in National Geographic.
Is he one of the people who like built the apartments and like the tunnels and shit?
So you Google him right now. Adam Purple's Garden of Eden.
I've heard of this.
Adam Purple's Garden of Eden. So he, I think it was late 70s, early 80s, took over an abandoned lot in New York City, and he built a garden, which was gorgeous. It was beautiful, and he grew all of his food there and everything. And that's actually why my middle name is Adam, because I'm named after Adam Purple. And who's actually his real name was David. So that's actually really why I'm David Adam, was because of fucking Adam Purple.
It's a great looking garden.
It's an amazing garden. Yeah.
So you're named after a bum.
I'm named after a fucking bum. Okay. No, you do drugs? No fucking wonder. Yeah, and so my dad lived with him in New York City, and they would go down to Central Park and scoop horse shit and put it into fucking mason jars and go down to Manhattan and con these rich ass people into be like, yeah, you boil some water because it has all their probiotics and all this good nutrients that you drink the horse shit tea and it'll flush you out, and it's a great detoxification. And so they snake oiled people in the fucking 80s and sold them horse shit tea. Like, that's my dad. That is my dad.
Fuck your dad.
Fuck my dad, dude. He legit sold horse shit tea to people.
He's fucking Tyler Durden.
He's Tyler Durden. Yeah, I was raised by Tyler Durden.
That's essentially what you have.
If anybody wonders why I use drugs, that's why. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna steal the fat and then sell it back to them.
And we're gonna steal horse shit and sell it back to rich people. Like that, and that's who I was raised by, and that's why I'm an addict, everybody.
Slightly genius, though.
Slightly genius. He actually did sell horse shit tea, which is brilliant.
Oh, people will buy anything.
People buy anything. Yeah. I mean, they brought snake oils back in the day. Same thing. But yeah, I mean, Brad, you were in a dysfunctional family in just different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as dysfunctional as yours. But
yes. Yeah. We're not comparing, okay?
No. I was just in a waspy situation.
Yeah, you had the American Beauty scenario.
You know.
Yeah, where you guys were just
all living our own separate lives.
Yeah, and like, oh, we're gonna put on this beautiful facade that we're rich and everything's happy.
We're okay,
and there is no rotten core to this apple at all.
There's no happiness behind this veil.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all levels of dysfunction. It's just different levels. It's all just different levels. And we've heard it a million times on this podcast in a million different ways. And that's why we all get drugs. So, all right. I think we have come to the end.
Yeah.
And, so hopefully you enjoyed our Am I an Addict trilogy of podcasts. And we're going to be getting into some more IPs and doing some other stuff along with having more guests on. So again, everybody, thank you for listening. All our social media outlets, like, share, subscribe, go to our merch, purchase a t-shirt, some buttons, some sticker, get some merch, help us out. Help us keep the mics on, because we're trying to get the message of recovery to everybody out in the world that needs it. But most importantly, Brad, we're going to give you a round of applause for reluctantly joining us this morning.
Yay! You still haven't eaten your donut either. Dude.
Still haven't. Don't eat your donut. Just throw it away. Just throw it away.
I mean, it was free.
I could give it to my daughter, actually.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
please.
She'll eat it. But thanks for joining us, Brad. We love you, dude. And most importantly, everybody out there, Eric.
Stay safe and stay clean.